everybody. I'm Amy Holmes. I'm a school counselor here at the Keystone School. And today I have my friend Elena Degiralamo here.
Got it.
Yay! She is a fitness instructor and we are excited for y'all to learn all about her career as a fitness instructor. So first off, thank you, Elena, for coming and doing this interview for our students. Why don't you just tell us about yourself? Like, who are you? What do you do?
Let's see. I have been in the fitness industry I was adding it up for you, 36 years.
Wow.
I originally started teaching dance. That's what I've been doing my whole life. I went to college for dance. I've been in companies, touring.
Oh, wow.
And while in college, I injured myself. So I joined a gym to keep in shape because I was still doing classes. And I really I thought that like dance and exercise were pretty similar, you know?
Right.
So one of the instructors said to me, "Hey, would you consider teaching?" So I kind of looked into getting certified and
Wow.
That's what I did. I taught dance for a while, but for the most part, I made my career out of teaching fitness.
So did you teach dance before you taught fitness, or were you kind of doing them both at the same time?
Kind of both at the same time.
Gotcha. Well,
Yeah.
that's cool that you could do both of those.
Yeah.
So I guess your love of dance and your degree, what was your degree in?
Bachelor of Arts.
Okay. So that kind of led you. What's one thing that you think would surprise people about this career?
So I was thinking about that. I think one of the things that would really surprise people is that it's harder than it looks. I think when people go into exercise classes, you know, everybody's moving together and the music is playing and the instructor is telling you what to do. But there's a lot that goes behind the scenes of that. In order to get that cohesiveness in class,
Right.
there's a lot of preparation that goes into putting the class together, creating that progression, making sure that the clients feel successful, giving them modifications if they need to, making sure that the music is right.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of putting everything together. I also, in my past life, I should say, not just teaching my classes, but I've done so many facets in the fitness industry.
Right.
I've directed programs. I have trained instructors all over the country. And that's one of the things that people say once they start to learn about actually becoming an instructor is it is so much harder than I thought it was. It looks so easy.
So for example, like I know you teach bar now. How much time do you think it would take to prepare for like one bar class, which is like an hour, right?
To put a bar class together, I'm going to say it probably, you know, you want to change up your music, even if you don't make a brand new playlist every single time. You might just take out a few songs and put them back in. Design the class because there's a definite format that we follow in bar class. You know that.
Yeah.
We have warm up, we have the thighs, we have the seat work, we have the stretch, we have the abs, and then the final stretch.
Like you have a certain amount of time for each part, right?
Absolutely. I'm always looking at the clock. I'm always looking, okay, I finished my thigh work. I should be at this point.
Right.
And I'm moving on. But I want to say, to answer your question, probably if you put some time into it, like putting the music together, putting the class format together, it could take you a good hour to 2 hours.
Oh, wow. That's something that I never really thought about, you know, the behind the scenes stuff, like you said.
Right.
And then you have to get the area ready and, you know, prepare the equipment and stuff. So that's
true too.
So what if someone were interested in going into this career, say like fitness instructor, what skills or, you know, background a student right now in high school, what would you say they should, are there certain classes, a major in college? What would be required for this?
Well, I mean, really anybody can go in and learn to teach classes. You need CPR.
Oh yeah, I never thought of that either.
Yeah, you do need to have a CPR certification. There are several certifications in the fitness industry that you could sign up for. Some are online. I would recommend, and I used to teach for an organization called AFA. It was the American Fitness Association of America, where it was a practical portion test out and also a written test out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that way we could actually see a person do the work in front of you to make sure that they had all the safety, aspects down of it, as well as just a written test. But there are a lot of online things. And, a lot of people think that instructors need to be, bubbly or extremely outgoing. And that's not necessarily the case because everybody's tastes are different. I've trained so many different instructors and I've seen that there are a lot of people that enjoy someone that's just maybe a little bit more not as drill sergeant or so everybody has a different cup of tea. So I wouldn't, if somebody came to me and said that they wanted to be an instructor and they were very, very quiet, they might have some wonderful qualities and it might bring out a little bit more in them. So really anybody it's really open for anybody.
That's good to know.
Courses. Cool. And then there's also some different courses. Like for example, right now it's become so, if people wanted to, concentrate on Pilates to learn more about Pilates, there would be certifications in that, certifications in bar, certifications in personal training. It's endless.
Wow. So it sounds like there's a lot you could do. You could just kind of do overall fitness, or you could specialize in.
Absolutely.
Lastly, why don't you go through what a typical day looks like for you right now as a bar instructor?
Okay, well, for me right now, so I didn't really elaborate on this, but Amy knows that I started teaching bar classes in my garage, and that's what my logo is here on my shirt. We call it Barrage. So
we love the Barrage. It's very popular in the neighborhood.
Lot of fun.
Yes.
A typical day for me, I usually teach 1 to 2 classes a day, with the exception of Sundays. And I usually prepare my classes. I'm giving away my secret to you.
I know. I'm going to know all the secrets now.
I usually get up an hour before classes. So if I'm teaching morning classes, I get up an hour before, or at night, same thing, an hour before. And I will put the format together and just make sure everything looks good. I also look at who's coming into the class to make sure, if I've had people come so many times a week, I want to change things up a bit.
Yeah.
But there's just that preparation in making sure the music stays fresh. So I might change out the tracks, as I said, here and there. I make all new playlists every 10 days at the very latest. And I look through Instagram a lot. There are tons of influencers out there that I really admire. They've made very successful online businesses and they have wonderful content on their pages.
That's a good idea.
Both Allison and I, so Allison teaches with me and we share ideas. And so I'll just look through and I'll say, oh, I want a new exercise for seat work.
Right.
So I'll type that in and so many ideas pop up. I'll try it out beforehand. I'll make sure that I have a modification. If I know somebody has bad knees or can't do a certain position. So there's probably, like I said, that 1 to 2 hour prep time.
That's interesting. I never really knew that.
I used to work full time in fitness. So if you said to me, what's your typical day? That was like teaching 3 to 4 classes a day and having 3 to 4 personal training clients. So that was like an 8-hour day.
Yeah, that's a lot. That would take a lot of prep too, because it's all different people, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I was traveling to their houses at times.
Yeah. So you have to count that time in too.
Yeah. But so now that I'm, I want to say, I can't even say I'm semi-retired because I still feel like I'm putting a lot into it, you know?
Yeah.
But it's a couple hours a day. So it's really nice.
Yeah, that's awesome that you can do that. I think that's one of those careers that you can be flexible with like that as well. You know, work for yourself.
Yes, and that's what the great thing was. My husband stayed home. Actually, he started working from home long before people did when our daughter, and he stayed home 2 days a week. And those were 2 days that I was out like for 12 hours.
Well, that's a good setup.
Yeah. So it's very flexible.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to come and speak to us today. If anyone has any questions, y'all can feel free to email me. I'll put it on the screen. And Elena would be happy to answer any of those for you.
I would be happy to.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Amy.